For the person it's happening to, I think a lot of the time you know not to block deep down. I think the message kind of should go out a lot to family and friends because they are the ones that will always say to do the blocking. Like I said, I had it from all my family and friends. Oh, just block him, or just throw his stuff out. And when they were saying, just chuck his stuff out on the lawn in black bags and tell him that he needs to pick it up by this time, I'm like, oh no, I really, really don't want to do that. Because sometimes family and friends, they mean well, but they don't know the full context and they probably don't know that person in and out. And I knew exactly what that person was capable of. So I was like, oh no, that's really, really, really not a good idea. And unfortunately, it causes then conflict between friends and family because they say, well, you're not taking my advice, or why are you not blocking them? And that then again lies in more problems and more isolation for the victim. I found it myself. It did happen of like, well, we told her this, we tried to help, she didn't listen. So if she's going to do that, then, which then works massively in favour towards the person committing the acts of stalking or control because, yeah, they get exactly what they want then. The more they can isolate a person, the better. I had a good friend throughout and thankfully they did take that approach. They would go home and say, right, she's told me this today. I'm just going to go online, I'm going to have a look, I'm going to go on police websites and just try and give some kind of information of what's my next best step. But they made sure that they were there even when that person was around. They made sure they were there, but not in a way that was threatening to him. And it was very much like, hey, just checking in on you and look, I've just decorated my kitchen today, what do you think? And she said herself, I did that just to sort of, because I knew he was watching, she'd say. So I just did it in a sense of, I'm here, I'm still here, I'm not putting a threat upon you. Because she said she knew the moment he felt that she was a threat to him, that's when the whole, you don't want to talk to her element would probably kick in. So she said, I was just trying to be there. Hey, how are you? How are you today? There were a lot of problems in regards to some friends and family. Relationships are not quite the same. They don't really want to hear, obviously, as you said about it, which is, it's difficult because when they're your loved ones, you kind of want them to understand what you've been through. But there was a lot of, again, which did happen of, well, we've tried to help you, but now he's back in your life, or you've not taken our advice, so basically we're not going to talk to you, which was very isolating and very lonely. And then it leans you towards the person that's forcing themselves into your life a lot more, because he picked straight back up on that. And it was very much like the, well, see, this is exactly what your family, your friends are like, and I'm the one that's going to save you and make all this wonderful. So, yeah, it was a very lonely little time. If you have suspicions or your friend or your loved one is telling you this is going on, probably research yourself. It is frustrating. You do feel like banging your head against a brick wall sometimes because it is so like, oh God, this is so frustrating. But it's just the more information you know, the more sort of tips you can get and the more you can seek out help yourself, I think is probably the best. For me, where I was, that's kind of what I would have liked to have seen from more friends and families, to try and get an understanding of, okay, she may have acted like this in this situation, but why did she act like that? What's going on? How can I understand it better? How can I understand her situation a little better and not take my upset out on the victim? Because that does happen, unfortunately. The anger gets directed in the wrong places. But it is hard and it is frustrating, and I totally get that. Blocking and stuff, obviously, yeah, it does seem like the most logical thing. And when it was happening, everyone was instantly just saying to me, oh, block him, oh, block him. And when I first was trying to break up with him and his belongings were still in my house, I had the attitude, oh, well, just chuck his belongings out, just dump him on the grass out in the front of the house. And it's like, know that's such antagonising behaviours for a person like that. So I started with the Snapchat, and then I went to the Instagram, and obviously discovered to not good results that I was blocked on the Instagram, and that's when he went to the next extreme, and that's when the break-in happened. There is an option to be able to view where somebody is on Snapchat. He lost that sort of part. He lost being able to watch my stories while on Instagram and to contact me on there. So he was losing that. I don't know where she is. He was getting that sort of feeling, and that's when the panic set in, and that's when I think that's where he went to the next extreme and thought, well, I'm just going to get into her house then. She's not letting me ring her. She's not letting me know what she's doing. I'm going to break into her home. That's exactly what he did. He ended up in my house, hiding in my property.